But I've just come up with a solution. Electric cars. Hear me out.
What?
Cars that are electric.
Where's that come
As
from?
a solution to fishing?
No, as a
I think you're a bit
solution
late
to, like,
to the
global
party
warming
there,
and stuff.
Josh. I think you're a bit late to the party.
No. This is a completely original idea. So,
Yeah, it seems it.
the fumes from cars go into the air and go into the sea. And that is bad.
You know what your brand should be? You know what your car brand should be?
I'm thinking of naming it after that guy that made electricity. Nikola Tesla.
No, I prefer Edison. Actually, I prefer Edison.
You can't have a car, mate, called Edison. You've got BMW. Edison.
Well, Tesla sounded weird when they made that.
It sounds better now, though. I love Teslas.
Yeah, because you got used to it. So you could call it an Edison car.
Just an Edison.
Yeah, but that ain't as catchy. Oh, what do you want for your first car, son? I'd like an Edison Model 2.
That's the one.
Welcome back to the Got Your Back Chat, a podcast where young people like us talk about topics we care about each week. I'm Josh C, and today I'm joined by Josh M, Declan, and Jess. How are we all doing?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Glad to be back.
What was that hot noise?
What was the...
That was the noise of uni exams coming up. That was the
Oh,
noise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because we actually have to
right.
do our exams unlike the rest of the country. They really screwed my year over.
Let's distract you from that.
I'm doing exams.
I'm in the middle of doing mine.
Yours aren't exams, are they? They're like
Yes,
tests.
they
Yes, I'm sat in an exam hall with full-on exams that teachers have put together in
thought they banned
Why?
complete exam conditions.
Oh, that's stupid. That's really stupid.
Speaking of teachers, one of our teachers got suspended.
Oh no.
Why?
We believe they got suspended.
Why?
A photo's gone round today of this teacher sat on a bus, passed out, drunk.
Oh, that's...
She got suspended for that.
I was gonna say there's pictures.
think so, yeah.
There's pictures like that of me. And I'm
Yeah, but
still
you're not a
here.
teacher who's supposed to influence kids.
Yeah, but like you can't control what teachers do. Like if they walked into the classroom blackout drunk, fair enough. But like, come on, let them live a little. If they want to go out and drink, I don't see a problem
I
with
feel like
it.
it might be a bit hard to walk into a classroom when blackout, drunk.
Very true.
For the younger listeners out there, we don't condone these actions.
We do not. Don't. Well, no, just don't do it.
This month on our Instagram and Facebook at GYB Hull, we are talking about the environment, specifically what we wish we were taught at school. In this podcast, we're going to be discussing the documentary Seaspiracy. If you've not seen it yet, you can stream it on Netflix now. Did any of you watch it?
I must
Yeah,
admit,
it's alright.
I started watching it, and then my friends asked me if I wanted to play on the Xbox, so I went and joined them. So I've seen some of it, I got the gist of it, and I've read about it. So
Fair
I
enough.
feel qualified to talk about it.
Anyone got any key first impressions?
I was
It's all right.
horrified. Okay, like I watched it. Like I can't lie, guys. I watched it in my bed this morning because I was like, oh, like I'd read about it, but I wanted to like properly watch it, and I was like, I'm not going to get any work done right now. Like I need food, and I was like, couldn't be bothered to go up and get food. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch this Seaspiracy thing, and trying to get my head around it. Like it was just horrifying. Like watching the fishing boats, and then they were dragging out like the dolphins from the sea, and then there was just blood everywhere. Just it was horrible to watch.
Don't trust anything Jess says. She watched it while hungover.
I did, but
doesn't
then
know
I
what she's
guess
on.
it means my reactions are going to be more just more
Exaggerated.
yeah.
She watches it again and realises it's just a droplet. Did you all know about the issues raised beforehand, or did you all learn something new?
I had no
I
idea.
didn't know it was to the scale of
Learn
that.
something new, really.
Especially the bit about the corrupted way that the blue ticks work for like the ethical side of fishing, and it's like, oh, you've got this MSC tick, it means that it was like fished ethically or whatever, and then you look at it and you're like, oh no, because they give those ticks to people, and that's how they make their money. And I was like, what? So the reason that everything in supermarkets says it's ethically fished is because the company that gives out the tick gets more money the more ticks they give out.
Interesting.
No, that part really annoyed me. It really annoyed me, honestly.
So they give out ticks, and then they get paid for it.
And you know, like when you have a fair trade sticker on something?
Yeah.
It's like that, but with fishing. And then, so people who care about like things being like fished without it like harming like dolphins, for example, then they get this tick on like a can of tuna will have a tick on it, like this dolphin friendly tick thing. But the company that gives it out, like they get money from giving out the tick. So realistically, they're not going to not give it out to someone.
So is it governments paying them?
I don't think it's government. I think it's like, I don't know who pays them. I think maybe. I know they get subsidised, but I really remembered these facts. I'm not sure how, but they subsidise the fishing industry more each year than it would cost to like end world hunger, which is insane.
I was going to say cool, but it's not.
Declan.
Yeah.
Do you think the documentary is useful for young people?
Yeah, it was alright, I suppose.
Nice.
Fair Attenborough, brother. Love him. Absolute madman, David Attenborough. Love him.
You think it's important for young people to listen to this type of stuff and understand it for our future? Definitely,
yeah.
It was definitely like shock.
I found it quite shocking. I couldn't believe the fact that scientists have estimated that oceans will be empty by 2048.
Yeah, that's insane.
And that's
really not far away.
And that's 2.7 trillion fish that'll be gone.
27 years, lads.
27
How many
years.
fish?
27 years we can go swimming. No fish.
I hope the jellyfish go. I must admit, there's no need for them.
They were saying about like how it was almost like if we left it alone, like there'd still be coral reefs. Like they say, it's because of climate change and stuff. And they were like, yeah, that's part of it. But by us fishing, like when the fish excrete and it goes like that's what feeds the coral. So by us like killing the fish, that's what's killing the coral more than like other stuff. But it's when he was like interviewing some of like the
fish?
No, like the leading professionals in these companies. And they were just there like, he made a point about, why is everyone so hung up about plastic straws when like plastic, like fishing nets make something like 46% of the waste in the oceans? And she was like, well, it's not always plastic fishing nets. And it was just the dumbest responses. I was just sat there like, these people are like running a company and they're like this stupid.
Yeah, I thought that the plastic straws thing was to stop them getting in like turtles' noses and stuff. But it turns out it's because of the microplastics or whatever they're called. When the plastic dissolves into the ocean and then it causes like carbon dioxide, I think, which ends up killing the corals and then the fish die because they've got nowhere to live. Which is crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Here's another statistic for you to spark another conversation. Did you guys know that 46% of the 1.5 million square I'm gonna say it again. Did you guys know that 46% of the 1.5 million square kilometres of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is fishing nets?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that, no. Huh? Was that in the documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember watching that part.
That's no, because that was when they interviewed the woman talking about it and she was just like, it's not a big deal. It was insane. And then she said, yeah, and then she was sat there like, if you don't want it to be a problem, then stop eating fish.
That's why capitalism is bad.
Oh my God, Declan. No, like in that sense, that's really not great. Like the fact that an ethic, like a firm that's meant to be about like ethics and stuff, are being fueled by money that's making them essentially make the wrong decisions. It says a lot, really, doesn't it, about the people running that company?
Yeah, and you find often it's the older people that don't really care about our generation. They're thinking about themselves now and how they can get as much money.
Or they'll blame it on our generation.
Yeah, this is the thing. The blood's not on our hands, and I think we're the ones, out of anyone, I think our generation are the ones that are trying to fix it, us and the sort of generation just above. You talk to middle-aged people, and I'm going to bring up middle-aged white men here, they're not going to give, like, they don't care at all. They really don't. They're just sat there saying, oh, well, you know what, we need to make money. And it's just, their response to everything is, this is what we have to do. And this is how it has to happen. This is how it's always happened. They're not worried about changing it. And it's just frustrating. It really is.
It is.
Well, the only middle-class white person I like is Bernie Sanders. What a man, honestly.
Well, Declan, to double back on what you said, why is it actually bad?
Why is capitalism bad? It helps the poor get poorer. It doesn't favour... It favours exploitation. Just genuinely bad.
It doesn't favour change, I think. It doesn't favour change.
Exactly.
It favours a very kind of almost Victorian system of, like, the fact that you're born into either being rich or poor, and you're born there and you die there, and the rich will get richer with generations, the poor will get poorer, and you can't get out of whatever cycle you're born into. Which,
definitely.
I mean, in linking back to this, it just means that there was another section about kind of local fishermen, and it was about these big companies had come in and taken all the fish. So when local fishermen go out that want one fish to eat, there's no food. And it's that kind of idea that you're allowing these big companies to take so much that a lot of will get wasted, and you're not letting people that need just one have that.
Josh, you got any thoughts?
Not really. I was just thinking, though, I saw something in the news this morning about French fishers off the coast of Jersey. I don't know if anyone else saw that. But the French are trying to fish in supposed British waters. I did quotation marks with my hands there, guys. British waters. And it's something about how they can control how many fish are being caught and what kinds of fish are being caught. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you're allowed to fish baby fish. I don't know what you call them, baby fish. But they've got to be able to swim through the net or something. And apparently, the French fishermen don't do that.
I don't think many will, to be honest.
So yes, there's Navy vessels out in the sea now, protecting.
Oh, wow.
Do you really think these people really bother about our young people's future?
Oh no, there's one person they care about, and it's themselves.
They care about themselves and their generation, because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of people, when you think about it, again, kind of going back to Declan's capitalism point, but if you go back to when our parents were born in the 60s, 70s kind of era, and they were brought up by people that were born in the 40s, 30s, 40s. You look at that, our parents were brought up by people who lived in a time where that rich poor was still there, and where it was kind of, you protect your own, you protect your family, and that's it. And then so our parents still have those beliefs, even though they won't be probably as strong as our grandparents. Those beliefs are still there. And then obviously now we've been born into this society and we've made our own decisions. And the people, even up to our parents' sort of ages, they still have that belief of protect your own, protect your generation, your family, and they're not going to think, oh, well, when I die, I want to make sure that I've left the world in like as it was. Like that's not how they would have been brought up, I don't think.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 types of parents. Looking back at that, what you just said, there's the ones that don't think about change and they think how their parents think, and then you've got the in the middle ones where they're like they hold on to ideas from the past, but they associate them with new ideas, so they're kind of flexible with it. And then you've got the flexible ones that move with the times and understand young people. And I think most of my parents and my friends' parents are the flexible ones who think about our generation. But there's, again, a lot of people that are just stuck in the past and they don't see the present and they don't see the future either.
Yeah, I mean, my dad is definitely that person who's stuck in the past. My granddad is probably the kind of biggest representation of this, in the sense of he has never, like, again, this is going away from the documentary, but he's never even had a bank account. He's never had a credit card, debit card. Yeah, he doesn't do online shopping. Like, he's very, like, set back in his ways, to the point where my nana still gives him, like, gets pocket money in cash every week, because he just can't handle anything technology-wise. And then obviously that's passed down to my dad.
Is it like he doesn't trust it, or he just can't do it?
He doesn't trust it and he doesn't like it.
Oh.
He's very much kind of a, it didn't have to change. If it's not broken, don't fix it. It's his kind of view towards it. And then that's obviously been passed down to my dad, who is very stuck in his ways. And my mum's kind of the middle ground of it. But it's weird. You can tell, like, just talking to a person, you're like, well, you know, have some thought about the people that are coming after you. But I don't think a lot of people do, especially like older people. The people in the documentary.
Good way to link it back. Well, I suppose it's a good job you can distinguish yourself from your dad and your granddad, because it shows you're not like that. And you are the future.
Yeah, no, I don't listen to other people's opinions if I don't want to. I make my own decisions.
I think that's the worst thing you could possibly say on a podcast.
You don't listen to other people. Well, that's great.
Nah, I don't need to listen to their opinions. That's like something my granddad would say.
She's here for her opinion.
No, if I want to, I will. But then if I don't want to, I make it very clear, like, you know, I don't agree with you and I'm not going to, you know?
Negotiated
I
wisdom.
can see that.
Exactly.
Just an argue to the end of the world.
Oh, I have done and I will do.
We know.
No, wait for me and Declan to disagree on something.
Oh, God. I actually had to create a Facebook account because I wanted to argue about politics, but obviously my granddad is a Tory, so I can't do it on mine because he just replies with Tory stuff, and I can't be bothered to argue with my granddad.
You should do it. Make a podcast about it, a special.
We should do a political podcast at some point. That would be an interesting one.
Yeah, I think you should make me host that
Let's
one.
just sit Declan in a room on his own and say, Declan, talk about politics.
Just do us a big monologue.
Put Declan in a room with his granddad and go, politics.
Am I right?
That conversation will be as long as every single Fast and Furious film. And there's nearly 10 of them.
No. That conversation won't last long at all because I want to cry within 10 minutes of arguing with my granddad.
No, I will say that, Declan, that is something we would disagree on, politics. So maybe we both shouldn't be on that podcast because it would be far too long.
How many emails have you got this week, Declan, from political parties?
I had 6 this morning and I've now got 10 this now.
There's a vote today as well.
Yeah, I'm up to all the mailing lists for political parties and I've had 10 emails today from them all.
Why is this?
Please vote for us, essentially.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
You should probably tell them that.
Yeah, should probably say I'm not old enough.
I actually read the manifesto things for the local ones. And I can't lie. like, I would always say, like, well, you're going to kill me for this, Declan, but I would always be like, I'm not going to vote Labour. I would never vote Labour. But honestly, like, you look at the manifestos and Labour's is the best one for our area, I think. I'll give you guys
We're Labour City, aren't we?
Well, yeah, but that's from the history of like Hull though, because Hull was like I'm finding links back to this documentary here. Hull was a fishing town. No, but Hull was a fishing town, and it was a big thing about the docks and stuff. And the reason that Hull's not as like prosperous now is because there's no fishing there anymore. Really, like there still is, still Hull docks, but like my granddad used to work on the docks. The same granddad who hasn't moved on from like the 50s and 60s, and he used to do like engineering on the docks, and he always says, back when I was working, we used to do this with our bare hands. It's that kind of, I think that's Hull's kind of very deep rooted in that kind of history, and I think a lot of people like where we live maybe haven't moved on as far, the older generation, like because of like we were almost separate as well. Like Hull's a far stretch from somewhere like London, like technology wise, because it's built in history instead of like.
Hull's a Labour city though, isn't it?
Yeah, we almost lost some parts of Hull last election though to Conservatives.
Well, my local MP is David Davis.
I love how we've gone from talking about a documentary to politics.
Hey, Declan's on the podcast.
Yeah. I think it happens every podcast. I think one political party is mentioned at least once.
Whoa, Josh. What happens every podcast? Oh, I mentioned your cousin, don't I?
God's sake, you can't even make one podcast without it.
We were so close.
We were so close. Jess, how much of the world's oceans are marine protected areas?
Good question.
Not much. Not
7
much.
meters.
5%.
Bit more than 7 meters.
Haven't we only discovered like 5% of the oceans or something? I swear that's like a fact. So imagine that the amount that we discovered is the amount that we protect.
That makes sense.
Countries are committing to protect 30% of the world's oceans by 2030. This isn't the only issue that needs to be addressed. 90% of marine protected areas still allow a lot of fishing.
Oh, that's quite a big number.
I believe that. They say they protect it so that people are like, oh yeah, that means that fishing there's fine because it's a protected area.
I wonder what would happen if we just stopped fishing. Would there just be an overpopulation of fish? That's what my brain's thinking of during this whole conversation.
Maybe.
No, because it's all about ecosystems would balance each other out. Because if there was more whales, then there'd be like if there was more whales in the ocean, then
there'd be more giant
eat
fish.
more fish.
Oh my god!
Well, no, they'd eat more fish, which means that then the fish and the whales would balance out again. Like without us, the ecosystems work fine. They don't need us. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't need us to sort themselves out. We're the problem, yeah. They'd be fine without us. At the end of the day, like the fish would sort themselves out. Like you would see more fish in the ocean, but it wouldn't be like an overpopulated ocean, you know?
Yeah.
Did you also know that because of all the waste in the oceans, that even if we reduce our intake of fish, it's still dangerous to our health, as fish contain heavy metals, mercury, dioxin, plastic compounds, and a word I cannot pronounce, and PCBs.
How's it spelled?
It's like hexachlorobenzenes.
Oh, yeah,
that's it.
There you go, that'll do.
There you go. That wasn't that bad, actually. The contaminants found in the fish even outweigh the benefits of omega-3 fatty acids. So cutting down on fish, which is what most people say we should do, isn't even enough.
So how can we help?
Everyone would have to be a vegan.
How can we help if we can't help?
Yeah, that's the thing. We can't. I mean, you can.
Or vegetarian. Why vegan?
Huh? Oh shit!
Why can't we just be vegetarians?
I don't want to be vegetarian.
Well, as much like I appreciate like vegetarians. I was learning this at school the other day. Some facts for you.
Oh, more facts.
To be vegetarian creates more It create. Oh, what does it create? It creates. Bear with me here. I'll remember.
He's googling it.
I'm not. I'm actually putting my phone on charge.
What are the consequences of being vegetarian?
No. To be vegetarian creates a lot more energy for the rest of us.
Okay.
Because the animals that we eat release energy.
Still not giving up chicken.
Yeah, me neither. I'm just saying. I'm not giving up meat. I love meat, but
You know what I've just realised? Like, okay, you know you've got pescatarians that are people that don't have meat but they have fish. Is there one
Yes.
for like if you don't have fish but you have meat? Like maybe we should make that a thing, and that might revolutionise like people's.
Carnivores,
you
isn't
know.
it?
No, carnivores. That's people. That's people who just have meat. Like they don't eat anything else.
That's just meat.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
What's the mix then?
I think wouldn't it just be normal?
No, but my point is that maybe the way forward is to make a diet name for people that eat meat and not fish, because people love like jumping on fad
Like a new
trends.
trend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people love
like a new
jumping on
trend.
fad trends.
Oh, guys, I'm a meativore. I only eat meat.
A meatball.
I don't eat
I believe
fish.
that's called a carnivore.
Flexitarian.
Should we all go flexitarian?
Producer Jenny's just put in the chat saying that flexitarians are people who eat vegan sometimes.
Oh, that's
So
just silly.
you're a selective vegan.
That's everyone though. People can just go, I'll have a salad tonight. That's everyone. Well, I might be vegan tonight. I don't know what I'm having.
Josh, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, Josh. You're going to Nando's with me. You're not going to be a pescatarian.
All right, fair enough.
What, are you going to get a salad?
No. Like hell. Right. Before we get on this tangent, I'm going to bring us back to the subject for the last 5 minutes, yeah? I've got
Fish.
I've got a fact, and then I'm going to ask you a question, all right?
Okay, I'm
Oh
excited.
God, scary.
The documentary says that each year over 300,000 whales and dolphins are killed as a result of bycatch. Additionally, while 1,000 sea turtles' deaths each year are caused by plastic, in the US alone, 250,000 sea turtles are captured, injured and killed each year by fishing vessels. This type of fishing is actually more dangerous than oil spills. That's the fact.
Thank you for the
Right.
fact.
What's the question?
Yeah.
You're ready
What's
for the
the
question?
I feel like I'm sitting a GCSE exam right here.
Yeah, this is
sat
your
here
biology
crying.
exam, Declan.
Oh, fear.
What do you guys reckon that young people like us can do for a better future and a better environment for when we grow older?
I don't know. Be
Become a
vegan.
flexitarian.
Hey, I agree.
Vote left-wing parties.
What did you say? Did you say read Jekyll and Hyde?
No, I said vote left-wing parties, not read Jekyll and Hyde.
That is how we'll solve it. Read Jekyll and Hyde.
I mean, we can do that too. It might be a bit educational.
No.
Yeah.
We've already discussed that cutting down on fish intake isn't good enough.
No. I don't know.
And that's not bad. That's not even just bad for them. That's bad for us too.
Thing is, it's difficult because a lot of it happens like so far away from the coast, like so, like out of like eyes way. Like you don't see it. So unless like
Yeah,
I don't
it's not
know,
like a
that's
visual
difficult.
change that we can see. It all happens at the bottom of the ocean. I've just had a
You
thought,
can't really do much.
and I've saved us all here. Give us your thoughts. That's the one. Plug our Instagram. What is it? GYB Hull?
GYB Hull.
There we go.
Yes, Instagram plug.
Send us your thoughts. How can we fix it? But I've just come up with a solution. Electric cars. Hear me out.
What?
Cars that are
Cars.
electric.
Where's that come
As
from?
a solution to fishing.
No, as a
I think you're a bit
solution to,
late
like,
to the
global
party
warming
there,
stuff.
Josh. I think you're a bit late to the party.
No. This is a completely original idea. So,
Yeah, it seems it.
the fumes from cars go into the air and go into the sea. And that is bad.
You know what your brand should be? You know what your car brand should be?
I'm thinking of naming it after that guy that made electricity. Nikola Tesla.
No, I prefer Edison. Actually, I prefer
Edison.
Edison.
You can't have a car, mate, called Edison. You've got BMW. Edison.
Well, Tesla sounded weird when they made that.
It sounds better now, though. I love Teslas.
Yeah, because you got used to it. So you could call it an Edison car.
Just an Edison.
Yeah, but that ain't as catchy. Oh, what do you want for your first car, son? I'd like an Edison Model 2.
That's the one. Let's do it.
Now that sounds Tory.
An Edison Model 2.
Now that sounds Tory.
Right. So thanks everyone for listening this week. Ollie, remember, follow us on Instagram, which is GYB Hull, like we said, to get involved in our conversation. Make sure to subscribe. And now we're on Spotify, everyone.
Get it.
The podcast is now on Spotify.
Yes.
So make sure you review the podcast and follow and rate and whatever you do, like whatever you listen to it on, whatever you do on it, like, subscribe, whatever.
Just do it all.
Support us, please. Please support us.
Support Declan's left wing.
Yeah, I'm going to radicalise you all.
We need money for Declan's cat. Declan's cat's going through a bit of a rough time at the minute.
He keeps shouting.
Constantly screamed at.
He lives with me. Is that a surprise?
If I lived with Declan for 5 minutes, I'd need some help. Anyway. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. In a bit.
Got Your Back Chat is a podcast made by Got Your Back, a media made by young people for young people. Got Your Back Chat is managed by Eskimosoup for the Got Your Back campaign. Alice O'Dwyer is our campaign lead, Jenny Harrison is our producer, Keely Graham is our designer, and Peyton Hutchinson made the jingle. You can follow Got Your Back on social media by searching @GYB Hull, and make sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening to hear more in the future.